Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right on into it. All right, let's pull up this screen. Yep, the Nico Era Begins. He's with the team. He's practicing with them for the bowl game and all of that. And so the hype's going to get rolling here before you know it. And look, it's been a long time since we brought in a quarterback at this level. Not only is he the #1 dual threat quarterback, he's the #2 recruit in the country behind Arch Manning, which really Arch Manning's not ideal for our offense. Nico is, because we need a running quarterback because that's the way Heupel likes it. You know, he wants a guy that's a dual threat. And you've seen how well Hendon Hooker has done in this system. So I would think Nico's going to have a lot of success. Now, before we get started on all of this, I made a mistake yesterday.
No way.
Yeah, I did. And it had to do with Arch Manning. I made the statement that he was Peyton's son, and the truth is he's Cooper's son. And so I messed that up. Now, needless to say, in the comment section, I got hammered.
Catch me!
Yeah, it was a lot like that. Now, you know, granted, I made a mistake.
Well, pardon me, Mr. Perfect! I guess I forgot that you never ever make a mistake.
Yep, that's true. But I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Come in here a little closer. That won't be the last one I make. There will be more. I don't know if I'll make one in this video, but it's coming, don't worry. Now, as we talk about Nico, we're going to talk about Joe Milton. We're going to talk about Tavon Jackson and all of this for next year. Now, granted, we're going to be seeing Joe in the Orange Bowl coming up, but come this spring, we're going to probably have a pretty good competition between Joe, who is sort of the leader in the clubhouse, but we'll see how the bowl game goes. But then it's going to be Nico and Tavon. And then I know there's a couple other quarterbacks, but I'm talking about the scholarship quarterbacks right now. And of those three guys, you know, let's take a look at them. Now, Nico's coming in at 6'5", 195 pounds. And he, of course, is a 5-star. He's the #2 recruit in the country, the #1 dual threat quarterback. But I'm a little bit concerned about his size. At 6'5", 195, he needs to put on some weight. And I know he'll have 9 months to do that, but they need to put some weight on this guy because he's going to be playing the SEC, and that's as close to the NFL as it gets. It's one thing to go from high school to college. It's another thing to go from high school to the SEC. That's a different animal. So I'd like to see him put on 10 or 15 pounds for sure. Now, as far as his skills, this guy's got unlimited skills, and I'll show you. And you watch this pass right here. Guy was about to get him. Perfect pass. Now watch this pass. The back shoulder, perfect pass. Only his guy can get it. Here's from the other angle. Boom. I mean, you can see how ideal that is. Now watch the touch. And this is so important. I mean, he can just lay it right in there perfectly in the breadbasket. And that's what you've got to do in Heupel's offense. Now you're going to just watch the accuracy as he just delivers the ball. I mean, effortlessly. And he's got plenty of arm strength and great touch. I mean, look at this, right? He's just throwing dimes. This guy can flat put it where he needs to. And there's the power. And just, I mean, look at the window he's putting that in. And there's your little touch pass. So this is why he's a 5-star. I mean, when you're making, look at that. You know, he's just making it look easy. So as far as talent goes, I mean, he's got all the talent in the world. The question is he ready? You know, being a true freshman, it's really hard to play in the SEC as a true freshman at quarterback because there's so much going on. But it's great to have him. Now let's talk about the leader in the clubhouse, Joe Milton. Now, Joe comes in at 6'5", 245 pounds. I mean, that is a load, and this guy runs like the wind. I mean, he can flat get down the field quickly, and I really wish he would run more. You're probably not going to see him run a ton in the Orange Bowl because we don't have a backup scholarship quarterback ready to go because Tavon's been hurt. But he's got all the arm talent in the world, and, of course, he's got a cannon for an arm, and we all know that. The big question is his touch because he can make every throw. He's very smart back there. He does not turn the ball over. It's all about touch for him. Because if he could lay it in there nicely and throw dimes, this guy would be unstoppable. But we have not seen that in the big game yet with him. It's Joe's job to lose at this point. I mean, he's, like I say, the lead. Look, he's the #1 guy right now. And if he goes out there and throws 65% and for 300 yards against Clemson, he'll be the starter. But that's what it takes. And the third guy, we don't talk about him a lot, but this is a really good quarterback in Tavon Jackson. Unfortunately, he got hurt, and he's been out. But this guy's got a ton of skills as well. Now, Tavon comes in at 6'3", 200 pounds. He's a good-sized quarterback, and he's got the height you need, and he's a dual threat. This guy can really motor. And I'll show you some highlights of Tavon. Now, right here, you'll see he's a great runner. I mean, watch this move right here. Zoom. Nope, you won't be tackling me. And, you know, this is your dual threat quarterback, that speed and that quickness, and he's got all of it. But you'll see he's got a real nice arm too. I mean, right there, just boom, throws a dime. Very strong throw over the ball. Got a great arm. Now you'll see some strength with the arm. Boom, right on the money. Here you'll see the dual threat, and he's gone. And, of course, that's such a Hendon Hooker move right there. It's not even funny. Really fast. But, again, he's got a very nice arm. Boom, just right on the money. Perfect. Here's the tight windows, very tight windows. But look at what he can do. I mean, that's just caused chaos for the defense. And that's so stressful for your defense to know that guy can do that. And then, boom, here you go. Nice touch on the ball. So, I mean, he's very talented. And Jackson was a rock-solid 4-star. I mean, a good, solid 4-star and a good get for the Vols. So, you know, it's going to be tough because you've got those three guys. And with the transfer portal the way it is, you know, we're in a whole different world. Anything that we've thought we've known, you might as well throw it out the door because it's all going to change, because not only do you have the portal window, which is 45 days right now, you have another 15 days in May. So when that 15 days pops up after spring practice, a lot of players are going to enter the transfer portal because they're going to realize, I'm not first string, I'm not second string, I'm third string. Well, they're probably going to hightail it out of there from tons of teams. Right now we've got over 1,000 guys in the transfer portal. And in spring, we're going to have hundreds more. There's just no way around it. So whether or not we'll have 3 scholarship quarterbacks or 2, because look, if you're the odd man out, if you're the third guy, you may leave. We just don't know what's going to happen with this new world we're in.
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
So you might as well be ready. So we're probably going to need to be looking around on the transfer portal for an experienced quarterback, because you don't want to go into it with 2 scholarship players. That would be difficult. I don't know, you know, will it be Tavon, the odd man out? I doubt it'll be Nico, given the money that's been invested, and I don't see it being Joe. So it's going to be Tavon's going to have to really come in there and show his stuff and be very competitive in spring practice. Otherwise, you know, it would be easy for him to be the odd man out, and that would be tough because he's very talented and he could play somewhere, whether it's for the Vols or another team. So they're going to be needing to look in the transfer portal to have an experienced guy, because you don't want to go into the season with 2 guys. That's not a good idea playing in the SEC, because you can get injuries like that. I mean, it takes one play, and all of a sudden you're down to 1 quarterback, and then you're down to really walk-ons. So the Nico era has definitely begun, and it's going to get probably pretty wild in the spring and especially in the fall, because the hype's going to get rolling. There's no doubt about that. It's just, look, you brought in a 5-star, one of the highest-rated players we've ever gotten, other than maybe Peyton Manning. So there's going to be a lot of pressure to put Nico in. You know, it's just the way it is. If Milton overthrows the ball, throw in Nico. You know, it's just the way it's going to be. It's going to be tough. But you know what? That's a good problem to have. This is what teams like Alabama have to deal with, Georgia, all these teams that are really good and have these big-time stars. This is what you got to deal with, and we're dealing with it in the transfer portal era with NIL money. So it's going to get wild. And if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Lets me know to continue to cover the Vols. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I believe it's right there. I'm pretty sure it's right there. Anyway, I hope you did like the content. We'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay.